But it was interesting to kind of be VIP. And until I got a little text, it took the wind out of your sails.
It did, but you know what brought it back? Arctic Crush or whatever that was called.
Arctic Crush. That's a fucking Mountain Dew flavor, Annie.
Well,
What I think I'm trying to say is I've never heard of a person going up to a child and being
What
like,
do you want?
What do you want? You must be a little baby. Do you need me to change your diaper, little baby? And the kid's like, I'm 12.
hi guys, welcome to Anniewood. My woodies, my shoodies. You get a lot of shout outs. There's a lot of Annywoods mentioned in this episode. We're having so much fun. Right now, take time to think about whether you want to join the Path of Enlightenment and join our Patreon at patreon.com/Annie Lederman. We are working on it. We are enlightening. We have a lot of things coming, so please enjoy and be a part of it. If not, we'll see you here anyway. I am on the road. I had a really fun weekend with TJ Miller, but I'm back headlining, which is what I love to do so much. We had to move our Toronto dates from May 24th to 25th. We actually moved them to August. So everyone that bought tickets will be emailing you and hitting you up with the new link to the new venue. We had some venue issues. So I'll be in Toronto in August. I don't have those dates exactly set up, but you will hear about it. I'm going to be in Oxnard June 7th and 8th at the Oxnard Levity Live. I'm going to be in Jacksonville, Florida, June 28th and 29th. I'm going to be in Irvine, California during my birthday and my twin brother's birthday, July 19th and 20th. I'm going to be in Tacoma, Washington, September 13th and 14th, and Naples, Florida in October. We have a lot more dates being added. There's an Arizona one that's in also in July that I don't know why it's not up here yet, but tickets will be on sale soon. We're adding dates all the time. I love doing stand-up comedy more than anything in the entire world. So please come share in the fun, the joy. I love entertaining you guys. It's my number one favorite thing. And I love hanging out with TJ Miller, which was my second favorite thing. We did it on his rooftop deck. It was really fun. And yeah, one of my favorite episodes with one of my favorite guys. All right, guys, you can also see me. I have an Anniewood and Friends at the Comedy Store the 21st of May. And I have one on the 18th of June. And you know it's always bangers, so I can't wait to see you guys there. And I absolutely love you. Hear what happened at SeaWorld to get us almost kicked out. Comment below right now what you think we almost got kicked out for.
Welcome to Anniewood.
All right, guys, welcome to a special edition of Anniewood. It's the SeaWorld edition.
Annie's Wood.
Anniewood. I said Annie's World. Did I just say the wrong podcast?
No. You said Anniewood, and I said
thank God.
Annie's Wood.
We had a
Working
wonderful
with
weekend.
Keith, the Razor Reza.
Keith Reza is a king.
And every time he tried to introduce Annie, he goes, and from the podcast, Annie's Wood.
So then I had to do 5 minutes up top about how I'm not trans, which is hard. With this mustache and shoulders and this deep voice, it's very difficult.
I think it's pretty perfect because it makes sense. Annie's Wood. Like that would, if you were less funny, that would be the name of this podcast.
But the truth is, I think it's a missed opportunity I mean, we could always do a rebranding, but it's pretty good. I like when the people I work with punch up my podcast names where I go, you know what? It's just a little, we could do like one of those little carrot things.
Yeah, absolutely. What Annie Wood, WOULD.
Oh, Annie Wood. Annie should.
What would it? Annie should's great.
Annie could.
And he won't change the name of her podcast.
I won't do this again, guys. Well, it used to be Meanspiration.
Really?
Back in the day, it was Meanspiration. And then I stopped. I did Trash Tuesday. Then I brought it back and I changed it to Anniewood, but maybe it should have stayed Meanspiration. It was pretty cute. Meanspiration was a fun one. Todd was in the background. Nobody knew we were dating. I called him my unpaid intern.
How did you feel about that?
It was weird because she would want me to talk and then also not want me to talk, and then she would like be asking me questions and
God, I didn't.
I know, it's like
I said, how did you feel about that? I was waiting for her to answer.
I mean, he's just going and going. See, this is what I'm saying. He said, you want me to talk? It's like, be interesting, be fun, wrap it up, make it quick, punchy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
or just
do you see what I'm working with?
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe.
Let's just say
it's
Annie
hard for me to believe that he would be open to marrying you.
Annie wouldn't. I know he likes the abuse, I think.
Do you?
He does. His mom says
He went for the mic and he's like, I'm not
his
gonna.
mom. His
I know
mom
exactly
said,
what TJ is doing.
His mom said that all of her sons are whipped.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a Jersey mom thing to say. I
and
guess.
she's loud, so she can't really pronounce it. Whip.
Who's whip?
I think I'm allowed to do Asian accent because I'm
What
marrying
is a
Asian.
Laosian?
She'll be like, Ta, wash your pee pee. Ta. She's like, it's fast and short. And she kind of like, she's very annoying, but she's like beautiful. She's so funny. She laughs. She's traumatized because she had to like cross minefields and stuff. And
Oh God.
her dad was like a spy for the Americans and they got to come over. But so she's traumatized. So her whole family's just these laughing, traumatized people. They just laugh. They're so funny.
I love that. Kate's best friend is Kate. That's my wife, Kate. Her best friend is Chinese in New York, and she speaks. I have this theory that Chinese people, when they're like, "Nice shoes, very nice shoes. I
They're
like those
lying.
shoes." That's interesting. I hadn't thought about it that way. But yes, they're liars as a people. Now, I think that the way that they talk, and sometimes people make fun of them, I think it's just a direct translation. So they'll be like, nice shoes, very nice shoes, very nice shoes. And we think like, I guess they don't want to say like, I like those shoes. Those are really nice. But no, it's just, I think in China, that's how they talk to each other. They're like, we're very pretty. We're like, if it was English, it would be like, I like your shoes. I like your shoes. Annie, we're very pretty. We're so smart. We're so smart. We're very, very pretty. We're smart. Here, let's go eat. Eat. You want to go eat? Eat. Let's eat. I think that it's just a direct translation.
Now you said she's Chinese in New York. What is she in LA? Okay. Anyway, so do you think maybe she's going? This was all weekend. I've been killing all weekend.
Anniewood or Annie just did.
I just done did it. Now, okay. So do you think maybe they're going like, I like your shoes. I like their shoes. And you're thinking, and while you're thinking, they're in their head figuring out how they can make it for a little cheaper and sell it right next door to you.
Oh my God. How often does that tongue come out during the podcast? A lot?
It's called Annie Licks.
That tongue
nasty.
knows its way. That tongue knows its way around quite a bit. Yeah,
I
more
always
than
thought you
that.
had to blow the mic to get on the show. I didn't realize you were supposed to blow a guy named Mike to get onto the show.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
How
That's
many
we used to
times
do it.
did she use that? Did she say that a lot at home?
No.
Nothing I say has been said before. I'm like
Really?
you, TJ.
I've said all of those words that you just said. Maybe not in that order.
Now, we had a very fun weekend. TJ invited me. This was very fun. TJ invited me to open for him in San Diego, and it was a f***ing blast.
And I have to say, I invited her knowing full well that she's a headliner.
And I was going to be a real bitch about it.
No, but I mean, it is a thing where it's like, I know that you're headlining, but I think you're really funny, and really the most that I can offer is like, do you want to come and do? It's San Diego, so it's only a drive.
Yeah, it's easy.
And it's also such a f***ing fun club.
It was so
So if
fun.
you never think if I called you and I was like, hey, Annie, fly you to Albany. Want to do Albany, New York at the Funny Boon? Annie could, but Annie will. Annie don't know.
He's like, you can pay for your own
Annie
ticket.
seen.
You go, get here at this time. No, it was very fun. It was a great time. It was
fun.
Now, okay, so we went to SeaWorld. I wanted to say,
I thought you were going to be really hard to follow. What? I didn't say anything. Annie don't. Annie do.
TJ don't. How about TJ don't?
TJ no.
TJ don't. But this is edited out. It's just like an edit from there.
It's so good. Annie would. Annie could. Annie won't.
I do think the way we go to the
That's
audience.
what you have to say when Todd asks you for sexual stuff. Annie could. Annie would. But Annie won't.
I go, what's Todd going to do to get this? No, we're kind of famous for we have a sexual tactic that we try to share with everyone.
Really?
Yes, we have a hospital bed. You know the beds that go up on the bottom and the top?
Yeah.
So I scooch to the end, and he has the remote and he lifts me up to him.
Do you really have a hospital bed?
Yes, we do.
That's pretty amazing.
I had GERD. So I used to have GERD.
Oh, really?
Do you know what that is?
I hope so. I have it.
Yeah, but you know that you just don't eat it and you never get it.
Well, the
It's
other
just
thing is
don't eat at night, you fat
no,
pig.
But what about this? Also, don't drink hard alcohol 24 hours a day. That was one for me. And then, so I love this. That's so funny that you had acid reflux because I also.
Just went away.
I had it pretty bad. And also, can I tell you, that's part of why our voices sound like this?
Yes,
Did you know that?
yes.
So you can make money off of it too. Mom!
I thought it was because my mom didn't listen to me and I just scream at her and scream at her and scream at her. And the minute I could talk, I never stopped talking.
That's probably it.
Someone must listen.
Does she interrupt you a lot?
The whole family interrupts.
Okay. Yeah, my buddy Jay, who's coming right now, who I wrote the Christmas movie with, his wife is awesome. His wife's mother, like, I've never seen anything like it. And somebody else, I told them about it and they go, oh yeah, my mom's like, or something. But she doesn't listen. And when she talks all the time, and then when you're talking, it's clear almost from her eyes that she's not listening. She's thinking of what she's going to say next. And it's often not about what you were just talking about. It's kind of, she's decided she's talked enough about this, but it's good that you're talking because she needs a second to kind of say, like, what else about my life have I not really had enough time to talk about recently? Is your mother like that?
My mom was an eye drifter. So you'd be talking and you'd think, so she'd just drift
her
off.
eyes would slowly go into a town and then drift out of it.
And I go, you're not looking like even in my direction anymore. And she just couldn't pull off the like stare and pretend to be listening. So I just got louder and louder and louder and it never worked. But now she loves me.
Well, you're famous now.
Does getting on TV not help everything?
It helps a lot. It can hurt a lot of other things for sure. Lizzie Kaplan said to me once, I was like, so what do you think, about fame? Because she was sort of coming to prominence. And she goes, well, I think my dad's having a lot of trouble with it. And I was like, really? Because I would I'd expect that he would be really proud. She goes, I think it's a tough transition for anybody to go from being them to Lizzie Kaplan's dad. I think that can step up. But my father's kind of famous in Colorado in his own sphere, so I don't think he really ever worried about it. Supposedly he's bragging about me more and more as he edges closer to death's door.
I like that because that's more the truth, I think.
I think it is.
I think they get closer to the truth. They got to
let go of it, yeah. So the hospital bed, I used to have a hospital bed, and I would close both sides.
Fun, right? Isn't that fun?
But my head, and I'd almost be touching my mouth to my... Yeah, no, can't do that.
Toe.
Can't do that. The dick don't go. And TJ would, TJ can, TJ don't. It totally closes. And then I would sort of be folded in half, and then Kate would slide down.
Oh, I love that.
For just a little bit. And then pull out of there. And then she had the remote. So I would stay there sometimes. She'd have friends over. It was really. Oh,
I love that.
Look, I got rid of the bed. Let me put it that way.
The voice was very.
Oh, yeah. So then this guy comes. I go to an ENT. There's an ENT here at Cedars-Sinai. All my doctors are at Cedars-Sinai.
Me too.
And so.
A lot in common.
Annie can.
A lot in common.
And so we went to Cedars-Sinai, and the ENT was like, all right, I'm going to write down a list of things that you can't eat or drink so that you know so that you don't do any further damage to your throat through acid reflux. And he wrote down, I feel like I have it somewhere, but he wrote down, it was like coffee, beer, pizza, Italian food, spicy foods, citrus, chocolate. And I go, whoa. Those are the only things that make life worth living.
Yeah.
Like, this is all a pretty tragic situation, and you don't want me to eat pizza or chocolate?
Yeah, they're like, no salad dressing, just dry salad.
Just dry, just anything that doesn't have anything on it. But it really was. It sort of left you with nothing. And he said, I know, and I hate writing this list. In fact, there's a 90-year-old woman that came to me, and I said, you can't have chocolate. And she said, that's really the only thing I live for. And he goes, well, you're 90. Go ahead. But so I was so pissed. But it is, if you don't eat 2 hours before you go to bed, but really it's 4 hours before you go to bed, and then don't drink water 2 hours before you go to bed, which is also a way to cut weight, everyone. If you don't eat 6 hours before you go to bed, then you'll cut weight over the night. Yeah.
You fasted for a while.
Have some of your Kim.
I'm excited. Okay, but
cheers.
I want to tell you what it would be. I
want
to know what it would be.
A non-alcoholic lifestyle.
We love non-alcoholic. It's for our throats.
I don't do this thing. I'm never going to do it. People have been trying to do it. Now every American does it.
It was slippery.
Okay.
It was just slippery.
But do you do that when people?
No.
Well, you don't take shots. What the f am I talking about?
I mean, I guess I would.
You shoot Diet Coke with Keith Reza. Do you click the bar?
I do just pickleback. I go, can I just have the pickleback?
I do that. We have some non-alcoholic spirit from someone that is not sponsoring me. We're going to try that later.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, bring all your sponsors on this pod.
I would love that. I have so many sponsors. I have a peanut butter sponsor. It's peanut butter that I make.
But how do you come up? Do you go taste the peanut butters?
Yeah, you work with somebody and you kind of talk about what you want it to be, and then they sort of. It has to. It's really hard to. I mean, I don't know if I told you this, but so I have a peanut butter, which the link will be in the description.
Oh, it's going to be in the description.
And I have hot sauce too, and so
all things you can't eat if you have GERD.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Although all the peanut butter is chocolate in it. There
and
you go.
Rice Krispies.
Dark chocolate's okay. Rice Krispies are so bad for GERD. That's how I got it. Sorry.
Like cereal.
It's a
He
snapping.
eats cereal.
It's a crackle. It's popping. It's kind of, I think, the problem. Yeah, so I have my own peanut butter, my own hot sauce. And I went to the peanut butter guy and I was like, what you really have to do is work with what they've got.
Right.
Because they can't sort of change their entire product line for you, somebody who's going to sell 5% or 10% of their overall inventory. But I went to the peanut butter and I said, look, I have this dream reoccurring. And
making fun of me again.
What's that?
You're not even going to believe what he did to me all week. You're just every time I talk.
It was so great when I brought that guy's future father-in-law on stage and made him bark like a seal.
Oh my God, that guy was the guy that Jack. What was the name? Joe.
He was saying it was Kevin and Tyler was the son.
Oh, he was so
And
scared.
what was his name? His name, I think it was Ken or
It was Ken.
It was Ken, and he just got on stage, and it was deer in headlights. I haven't really
was
seen
in
many
full
people that are
shock.
like. And I was like, "You want to come over closer?" He's like,
You would hold the mic to him and he would just go.
he was so scared. I said, "Is this the first time you've been on stage?" He goes, "Uh-huh." Yeah. I was like, "Oh my God." I go, "It's not that scary. You can't really even see anybody, can you?" And he goes,
And he went,
"Yeah, you can." It was great. It's good for him. He needs to do that. He's going to make a speech at the wedding is what I should have told him.
Oh,
I should
wow.
have asked him what he would have said at the wedding. This weekend
was wild.
was a flurry of mistakes.
It was a
on
wild
my
show.
end. I didn't bring my bubble machine from SeaWorld, which I can go get in just a second.
Oh,
I'll
I
do
know.
that
I
for
saw
the
it. There's a
closer.
shrine.
Yeah, for the closer. It's a shrine too, Shamu. It's my wife's Buddha shrine for chanting. And I forgot that to bring to afternoon television. So pissed. Forgot to bring it on stage ever. I never brought the bubble machine on stage. It was just thing after thing like that was so frustrating. So I went to the peanut butter guy. I said, look, I have a dream reoccurring. And it's that I make a peanut butter that is peanut butter, honey, chocolate, and bananas.
He said we can't do that.
And he goes, we tried. I said, what do you mean? And he goes, the banana oxidizes. The oil doesn't like keep it. So it just gets mushy and it doesn't work. And I was kind of like, I don't think that's that bad if it's mushy. But it's okay. What about banana chips, plantain? You know what I mean? Those dried bananas.
Have a little salt in there.
And I figured, hey, look, you get it in there. It's the oil is going to, so it'll sort of won't be as chippy. And he said, this is so funny. He goes, TJ, I love that he led with my name. He goes, TJ, when's the last time you had a banana chip? And I was like, well, it's been a little while, but I don't know, within the last year, probably. He goes, did you think they tasted like bananas? And I was like, so we had to kind of go with options that they had. But we dried cherries, chocolate, and peanut butter with honey roasted peanuts. The cherries are great. It's like peanut butter and jelly. And then they had he was like, do you like toffee? And I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
And he's like, so we have toffee, Rice Krispies, and milk chocolate.
He said,
We
do
can
you like
also
a
put the cherries in.
crackle and a pop?
Do you like a crackle? Do you like a pop? Do you like acid reflux, TJ?
Do you like to be suffering through the night?
Did you like to get up gagging and coughing? It was so awful. And then I took Zantac for a really long time. And then my body started to reject that. And I remember my wife is such an incredible woman with patience of an Argonaut. And I just if I drank a lot the night before and I had reflux, I would
yes,
retching.
you almost die. You're like dying.
And
You're choking on your own vomit.
I was in Paris and I was like gagging, about to throw up. I was standing near a trash can, and the noises I'm making. Everybody walking by is like, that guy's gonna die.
Yeah.
And Kate's just kind of at a distance, being like,
yeah,
hope he doesn't die.
She's going,
I'm a fan. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. So many similarities. Cedar Sinai.
Oh my God, so many things.
Riffing.
We both love
Our
Kate.
voices are similar.
We
Similar
love Kate.
cadence. Yeah.
So Kate doesn't come with you all the time
On the road.
on the road, but also you're in LA for a while.
She doesn't. I am in. She used to tour with me, and she did one bus tour where she performed, and one where she didn't. She just came along, I think, or maybe we weren't together at that point.
You were just friends?
No, we kind of did the dating, stop dating, not friends, but like cool with each
Yeah.
other. Then we dated again, and because it never got bad. Like, "F you piece of shit." It was more like, you're not coming to New York. You've said you're coming to New York like 4 times.
Right.
Every 6 months, you're like, I just need 6 more months. Call me when you get your shit together.
Right.
That was one. And then the other one, when I broke up with her, was like, you're a mess because your ex-boyfriend was a terrorist, an emotional, psychological terrorist who would hit her every once in a while. I think
Oh my gosh.
she's mouthed off a little too much, maybe.
Stop Kate.
K8.
K8 instead of H8. Yeah, you're
H8.
not wearing the thing.
Stop the H8. Stop the hate. And so she kind of ran from New York. He was tracking her every move. He was inside of her
Jesus.
computer. He was like, he took control of all of her bank account and
Oh my
everything like that.
God.
It was horrible. It's terrible. Again and again, the reason that I'm like, it's so frustrating because Kate has been actually seriously abused.
Yeah.
And so she made her way to here, and we started dating again and hanging out and hooking up. And then she totaled my car.
And you were like, let's
And
get married,
I was
baby.
I was like, you gotta get it together. You need to heal on your own. Because I mean, I hate to be this person, but a guy's car, it's his prized possession. It just is that thing, Tesla. And you kind of can't. So she totaled the car and she was like, he just turned and hit me. And I didn't do it, but I wanted to be like, I would never, but I wanted to be like, Kate, I know enough about cars to see that the point of impact was yours.
Trevor Wallace on National Women's Day, he just posted a picture of like scraped rims on a car and he goes, Happy National Women's Day.
My
It's so funny. 100% of the times I'm parking, I'm scraping my rims. 100%.
That's so funny. Well, it's not. It's
It's
just
not a woman thing. It's not a woman thing.
it's just a way to get places. And so women sometimes see it as such. And then guys are like, this represents my phallus.
Listen, we're like ovulated. We're
I
like
don't want a
words.
scratched up dick. Does that make sense?
Yes,
It
actually
makes
does.
perfect sense.
We're like,
So
don't
then-
fuck us with our period underwear on. We don't give a shit. Scrape it up.
Scrape it off.
They don't care.
And it did. No one thought she would, and he did. And so that's how we kind of, and so then that ended, and then we sort of came back to it. So we were never like angry at each other, but we weren't friends when we weren't dating.
'Cause
And
the
that's
car.
that's me too. Also, I'm like, I don't want to be a girl's friend who I loved or am attracted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. Eat all the sausage you want. Oh, okay. No. Now you just have to look into the window to see where the sausage is being made. Kind of just salivate and then we'll be buddies. You
Yeah.
know, we can go to a movie, but don't touch me.
I'm friendly with my exes. When I see them, it's hello.
Yeah, but you would never
But I
like
would
have
never,
a text relationship.
No.
So you can't do that. So she toured with me and she was kind of, she's not a comedian, although she's very funny. But she, another funny thing about that is that she has a couple times been like, I think I'm funnier now. Like when you're with somebody for long enough that's really funny, I think you become funnier. So I like that she's open to being like,
Yeah.
you're a big part of why I'm so funny. But so Todd,
Have I made you funnier?
what do you think, Todd? Because you are funny.
He is funny as hell.
Yeah,
Todd's always
for
been funny.
sure.
Tell him what you were voted in high school.
Oh yeah, I was class clown in high school.
Can you
Class
believe that?
comedian.
Do you want to know when that was?
When?
10 years ago.
It was like a month and a half ago.
I already had my own show on E for
At the
four
time?
episodes.
And when he was in high school?
Well, let's see. No, I started comedy when he was 14.
I graduated 2012.
Mm.
High
From
school.
college or high school?
High school.
That's so interesting.
I had already moved out here. I'd already done New York.
you were done with the biggest city in the world, and he was like, "What am I gonna do with my life?" So she toured, and she was she would sing 2 big band standards, so like "Hey Big Spender" and then something else, and then she did this like YouTube meme, like a cover of it. It was so funny. It's that song, "You Were Working as a Waitress in a Cocktail Bar." It's like, "Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me now?" All that. But in the YouTube meme, and then what she would do, it only does the first line, but through the whole song.
Oh, that's
so it's
great.
like, "You were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. You were working. You were working as a waitress in a..." And then like the chorus is like, You were working. You were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. Oh, you were. And it was so funny because she is an artist, and this is kind of why she's so funny and interesting. So when she did it, she did a couple different ways, but you saw the audience go through this thing where like she starts to do it and then they realize what it is and they're laughing, and then it's like not funny anymore. And then it does that thing where it's not funny, and then it's funny because it's not funny
for so long that it's
and
like,
it goes back up, and then it goes down, and then on this sort of the third wave comes when they realize, oh, she can loop this, like she could do this for another 10 minutes or something. So that's really great. And then she would try doing it as kind of this performance piece where she would collapse, and it was about women being subjugated and all they are is a waitress and all that. And then other times she would do it kind of like sort of peppy and really, and then you really didn't know if she was continuing. She would do it for like 3 minutes.
And you like wouldn't know how long she was going to be on?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, she kind of kept to a certain place because I kind of told her, I was like, you could do it for a really long time. And then she's smart enough too. She was like, what if that fucks up like the audience for you? Because she would go up right before me, and then she would introduce me. So it was really fun. We had a great time. We did all this stuff, and she was definitely still partying a lot. So it was like rock and roll bus tour deal. And then, now she's texted me, I think today, and she was like, I think we both really needed this time to do our own individual stuff and kind of be separate. And I was like, great, because you don't have to make any money. You can just, it's really exciting to be you, but but the thing is that it's so different when you, like, this is amazing. Like, I've kind of thought about coming back and doing like June here, although her birthday is June 15th. And mine's June 14th. Actually, that's pretty funny. Speaking of your guys' like age gap, ravine, I guess it would be called an age ravine.
It's a gorge.
A gorge. You're gorging on
it's a gorge.
Your extensive life experience. And Kate, I am 11 days older than Kate.
Oh, I love that.
11 days. So the reason that's fun is every cultural reference for us happened at the same time. So it's the same movies came out the same year. The junior high school.
They come out the same year. For
that
everyone.
was the what?
They come out the same year for everyone. I don't know if you know this word.
Anniewood.
Annie did. Nothing gets past Annie.
Never.
Would it?
And then I don't know if you're supposed to be mean on the show. Like I can make jokes.
Be mean or nice or whatever you want.
Okay, I think I'll be nice.
I like when you're all the things.
Okay.
I was like, because I've never worked with you for an extensive period of time, so I didn't know if there was going to be a turning point.
Like I mean.
Well, you know how when we went to SeaWorld and we did like a bunch of events all day at SeaWorld, and then we had like three options.
We did do events.
We did. We went to a bunch of like the different
animal interactions.
Excuse me.
And
he went twice. I only went once.
I was the event planner.
No, but it did feel like there was like, it was almost like a wedding.
It was an event-filled afternoon.
It was a crazy day. And then it was like coming time, like we had seen the penguins. It's like, I think we peaked. And then there was like a dolphin show and there were a couple other things we could do. And it just got to the point where I was like, are we going to like go out on being too tired and kind of like forcing ourselves to do one more thing? And I was feeling that I was like, I wonder if you had gone home with us in the car, if we had driven you home, if we would have reached the end.
Oh, why didn't you think I didn't go?
we would have
You think
reached
there's
the
a reason
end.
I didn't go? You just thought that was like a fanciful flight? Me going with Keith instead of getting trapped in a Tesla would have been the name of that podcast on the way home. Tesla Trap with Annie Don't.
I'm glad I asked you to do this
And
before we
Todd
went on
the
the weekend.
Bod.
She's
Todd
trapped
the
some
Rod
people
Bod.
in her Tesla before.
Oh, I trapped Doug stand up in the Tesla.
Really?
Yeah, we drove back from
Battery
La Jolla.
dies.
I couldn't find we first got the Tesla. It was like my first like road trip with the Tesla. I didn't know how to charge it. I couldn't find. We didn't have like the nozzle. We were trapped or driving around. Stanhope was in a blackout, having so much fun though. It really was fun. I said he could smoke in the car. She was like, "All right, I'll come with you." She was chain smoking in the car. It was so fun.
That is so fun. Yeah, no, I mean, you kind of said like, I think we've done it, but then you, right after the penguin, after the being on the ice with penguins,
Ooh, it was a second wind.
you said, I think we might be done. And I said, well, what about the Arctic roller coaster kind of with that? And you're like, yeah, that might sort of be the pick me up that I need. And then we did that and it is.
It was. It's just we were front row. I don't want to brag, but we did get front row on every roller coaster.
Yeah. You know who's great? You got to tell a story about how she goes, roller coaster is better than coffee. Do you ever go on it? And the girl goes, sometimes in the morning.
Oh yeah, she goes sometimes in the morning, and then I go, "Oh, really? Like for fun?" And she goes, "No, someone has to test it." That's a part of your minimum wage job is
Yeah.
you have to test the roller coaster to make sure no regular
Well,
person
you
dies.
must, I go, you must get health care. And she just went, and then she walked away. No health care for them. I think that it was, for me, it was one of the most fun, like, on the road things to do.
It was great.
And it was cool too because I went with Megan O and she sort of hooked it all. Like she kind of put everything in place for us to go.
Oh yeah, nailed it.
Because we did get front of the roller coaster. I rode 3 roller coasters and we did. Well, this should be where
Oh
we.
yes, should we
let's
tell
announce.
about our new?
Let's announce
We're
the
announcing a new
debut.
podcast
It's going to be the roller coaster podcast with
the host
Okay.
Annie Lederman and the every time guest TJ.
every time guest. That's
You're
kind of
supposed to
my
fight me.
podcast. My podcast is called Cashing In with TJ Miller. The link will be in the description.
Oh yes, it will. Cash Levy.
And Cash
One's
Levy.
bald. One has hair. I love that. You guys do like the opposite thing.
That's our thing.
It's so cool.
It's so cool. It's like you and Todd.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it
Todd's
is.
bald and I have hair.
Yeah, Todd has great hair. And then, so the roller coaster podcast, Cashing with TJ Miller, Cash is the host and he has a tough time getting guests. So I've been the only guest for about 7 years. But roller coaster, I think we're kind of
co-hosts.
interviewing each
Yeah.
other.
Yes.
Because that's what we did. We shot our first episode.
So it's us on a
I
roller
think we
coaster.
have 2 episodes actually.
We have 2 episodes. Todd will make it happen.
So it's the 2 of us go on a roller coaster and we interview each other about. Eventually, we will have guests. I mean,
Yes.
that's got to
Yeah,
be a
of
big part of it.
course.
I'm
But it's
surprised
you ask
nobody's
kind of like the questions people wouldn't necessarily.
scream about.
Yeah. You ask the questions.
We ask the questions
We go
that
there.
people almost puke during answering. So no, but so we did roller coasters, and then I did walrus, and
Swam with the dolphins, right?
no, I did walrus and
swim with?
beluga whale
Swam
on
with
my
them.
own with Megan O. And you don't really swim with, you just get in the water and you're able to pet them and stuff. And then what I realized is that sea lion was going to be better for sure. And so we went and we did the sea lion
Sea
experience.
lion was pretty epic.
It
It was
was
very cute.
epic.
Everything looks like a dog to me, though. I mean,
Well, the sea lion really looks
that
like
was
a dog.
it was like a very cute.
But the
dog.
walrus looks like an old man, just an old grizzled Navy man. And then, so we did sea lion, and then we were on the. Here's what's weird: when you go on the ice with the penguins, they're not for petting. You can't. That's
Yeah.
not what they want to have happen. So they literally bring a test penguin and put it on a little pillow, and then all of us get to like pet
You
it
get
and
your
say
petting
hello.
out. They make sure you don't squeeze it
Do you
or
want me to tell
tug
you
on
something
it.
else weird that I just realized?
What?
They didn't really give the penguin treats, did they?
The penguin got nothing.
No, they did. They got little sardines or whatever those little fish were.
The
Did
one
they?
that
Yeah.
the one that came down. What was the name of that?
No, the one in our.
The macaroni one?
No, they did. I saw a woman with a bucket just throwing.
No. But the
No, I
one
don't
that
think
they
you
brought down
understand,
to
Todd,
pet.
and I don't know if it's because you don't care to, or because you're not listening.
He's like my mom. Scathing off.
So We know that happened on the ice, but do you
Right.
remember when they brought the penguin down that we all
When
pet?
they took it from
I
its
don't think
family,
they
from its
gave
friends.
exactly. I don't think they gave it any food.
8-month-old
I thought
little
they
puppy
did.
one too.
Or if they did, it would have been a little carrots or something. They gave it to it once, and then it just kind of sat there.
Yeah,
And we pet it and said hello to it.
we
and
all
just,
pet it.
but
You
I didn't
kind of
really
gave it a
care.
little.
I
You
gave
gave
it a little
massage.
and I did that to the sea lion also.
I noticed you did some extra
I
moves.
did.
I went, wow, this is bold.
You know why? Because I have these two cats, and the boy cat, not really the girl, but you give him a little massage, he likes it. I'm like, yeah, if I was I'd like a little massage if I was a sea lion. None of these trainers are doing that. So I have strong hands. So I gave him a little bit of massage, and he thought it was good. But you're right. I did think about, like, what if I did that, just whipped around and fucking bit
Well,
me?
I was observing because I was very like, I was listening to all the rules and stuff, and I was like, okay, I don't want to get like bitten by, because all of these animals at one moment can snap.
Oh, sure.
They're all, that's why they're
Either
like, okay, don't pet
Siegfried
the
or Roy
penguins.
found that out the hard way. No, but that,
Did you see
yeah.
the thing I sent you, the video of the girl on Instagram getting, I sent you there was a girl sitting on like a deck or something, and then a sea lion just comes up and yanks her into the water.
And
And
eats
her
her?
grandfather jumps in and grabs her.
Oh, my
But it was a
God.
vicious, I was like, wow, we were right there.
Yeah.
You were just massaging it.
Yeah, I don't
But
care.
I looked at, I clocked the reactions of the trainers, and they were like, oh, they do like that.
Yeah, they did do that. But you know, they open the beluga whale would open its mouth and they would slap it on its tongue.
Oh my God.
I'm not joking. And that was one of the I go, do they like that? And they go, well, they can't really taste anything, but it's just a form of like good, like patting a dog on the head or something. And I'm like, you slap its tongue? Because it does open its mouth and they throw a thing in it. It just keeps its mouth open because it's like, if there's anything left, go ahead. I'm wide open, literally. And so they would just pat, 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 pat to their tongues. And the beluga whales, most of them have like molars, most of the teeth, but one of them had sharp teeth. I'm like, you go in there and slap it, because that's the other thing. They all seem so tame, but they're made. That was what was the most surprising thing for me. It was them telling us what the otters are actually like.
And she said it so many times. It's like she really wanted it to like land. She's like, I want you guys to leave knowing one thing on this trip.
And that is.
And it's not that what did she say? They're not violent.
No, they're not cute. They're not aggressive.
They're not aggressive. They're vicious.
Vicious.
Vicious. She said vicious so many times.
Vicious? Yeah.
So many times. She was saying it to everyone. People were gathering around. They thought he was a Napoleon Dynamite, so they were gathering around. And she was like, wait,
And
don't worry about him.
I was. And everybody was like, Annie, weren't you on Chelsea lately? You're like, Chelsea, briefly. That was one of my favorite jokes of the entire weekend.
I didn't make it past a year.
Well, she's jealous.
I did good.
She was intimidated by you.
She was so intimidated
She
by
was
me.
intimidated, not because you're aggressive, because you're vicious.
I'm vicious.
Annie vicious. Annie delicious?
I let
No,
her-
Annie vicious.
Well, one time when she was patting me on the tongue, I clamped down.
Clamp down hard.
I said,
But
Chelsea, that's how she paid me. She did a little tongue pat.
The vicious otter, you're right. She said it a bunch of times, and then
Children
as if
would come up and she'd
we
go,
s-
did you hear about what they are?
yeah, they're vicious.
Vicious, which is like a scary word to even say to a kid.
I mean, I can't believe it, but she made a point. She's like, they're vicious. And we were like, okay. And then she was like, I mean, they'll rip your face off if they want to. And I was like, descriptive. Like, did that happen?
Do you remember when I asked her and I said, well, can they kill you? And she goes, well, you can get up and walk away. I'm like, what? And you pick your face up? Like, what are you talking about? Your face is torn.
No, you're right, though. It was like, yeah, you go, well, will they attack you? You know, can they kill you? And she's like, well, they're small, so you can run away. And it was like, okay, but if you don't run away, they'll kill you?
Can I tell you what it was?
And they will.
Can I tell you what it was?
What?
There's a weird vibe around there's an underlying thing no one's really talking about, except we did bring it up a bunch, but it's Blackfish, okay? Like the documentary came out about 10 years ago.
And I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, you have?
Oh, I've seen it.
Todd, have you seen it?
I have not actually.
He doesn't like black things. But he said there's blackfish in
Loves
it.
fish. Loves fish.
But so that happened. And
He's
I think
a huge fan of coffee, too. But only with cream.
lots of cream. Like it's got to look white. You guys, I tried to convince myself that I didn't like bread. I told everyone I don't like bread. Bread's dumb. Bread's stupid. I don't like it. I would ignore it. I would look at it. I would hear it. I would smell it. And I would go, I don't even like the smell of it. It's not good with butter on it. I don't like dipping it in olive oil. I hate it. but I was lying. I was lying because I was trying to protect my self-esteem. I was trying to stay in shape, be fit, all of that stuff. But there's a new hero in town, and it is actually Hero Bread. It saved my life. I don't have to lie anymore. You know I hate lying. I'm an authentic girl. I want to enjoy bread like everyone else, and finally I can. Okay? Because there are no extra carbs in this. It tastes incredible while having no net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and fewer calories. Plus, it even has protein and fiber, and you know I need that so I can get my poo-poos out. It's soft, it's fluffy, just like those cacas. It's everything you want in a piece of bread with none of the stuff you don't. And I'm so happy to be back in this club, guys, because I was very upset. We have the bread, we made tortillas, we made tacos with the tortillas. It's so good, and I don't have to feel guilty. I don't have to work out extra. I don't have to do extra steps. And that's really all I'm here for. The least amount of work with the most amount of bread. And finally, Hero has let me do that. What's even more amazing is that Hero is not just for bread. Hero has whipped up delicious tortillas, buns, hot dog rolls, and even cheddar biscuits and croissants. Whether you're making a BLT, starting your day with some French toast, or heading to a neighborhood cookout, Hero has what you need to stick to your health goals while still eating the things that you love. Don't give up being a breadhead. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code Annie at checkout. That's code Annie at hero.co. Support the show, baby, and eat that bread. Oh, what a convenient time. Stop showing up to the party at the same time your deodorant stops working. Don't stink it up. Honestly, I was at the Comedy Store last night, and there was this girl that I almost was like, do you want some of my Lume? You know, I could smell her up here and down there. I was thinking, oh my God, it gets hot in those clubs, you know? I almost wanted to say, I got 72-hour protection for you, babe. But instead, tonight when I see her, I'm just gonna go, I brought my Lume with you. Have you ever tried this stuff? And I'm just gonna put it all over her body. As she puts it in her pits, I'm gonna go lower, lower. Put it in her boobs. I'll go, good job. Lower, lower. Okay. Up in there. Get up in there. In the crack, up the back, in the front, and a little over the gunt. Oh boy, I just love Lume. It's just changed the game for me, okay? You gotta get Lume. It stops odor before it even starts with mandelic acid that controls BO for up to 72 hours. Toss out the old deodorant that quit on you and let Lume do the heavy lifting. Ooh, I love my Lume. It's not just for your armpits. You can put it on your feet, boobs, thighs, and anywhere that gets stinky. Guys, I love my Lume. I love it so much. It's available in a bunch of scents like toasted coconut, which is my absolute favorite. And I will keep reading all of these, but this is the one, okay? I'm sure other people love these other ones. This is the one. This is my damn scent. But you could also get toasted coconut, clean tangerine, fresh alpine, and a brand new minted cucumber and soft powder. Try them all and find your favorite, but it's going to be this. Lume Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like a mini body wash and wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for Anniewood listeners, customers get 15% off all Lume products with our code. If you combine the 50% off with the already discounted starter pack, that's over 40% off their starter pack. Use code Annie15, because I look 15 years old, for 15% off your first purchase at lumedeodorant.com. That's code Annie15 at LumeDeodorant.com. Wouldn't it be great if Kate came in and just started singing that song that you told us about?
Totally. She was waiting right outside. That'd be so crazy if she's been here the whole time.
Kate she's a redhead?
Yeah.
And you have like a red beard.
I do have a red beard.
Were you a blonde kid?
No, I was always sort of sandy blonde. And when I was much younger, I was a strawberry blonde.
Okay.
But you're a blonde.
I'm a blonde.
Yeah, completely.
Wow, not
naturally.
My ass hair is a little dark. He didn't mean it like that. No, I was a very blonde. I was
chicks.
Tell them your Philly joke.
Okay, my Philly joke.
It's very real.
It's so real. So I was in, because Kate had this friend was just a consummate Philly chick. You know, of all the Philadelphia women I met, you are the most, ready? Elegant. This is Philadelphia elegant.
That's what they would actually give like a middle name to a girl, elegant.
Yeah,
that would be like a Philadelphia girl's middle name.
So
Annie,
good.
Elegant Lederman. No, it's literally my legal middle name.
So I said, and I say this when I'm in Philadelphia. I'm like, here's how I see Philadelphia girls, right? Philly girls are the only women in the world that if you're at a bar and you're in the middle of a story, they'll say, yo, hold that thought. I got to take a shit. And they'll leave. And everyone's like, we didn't need it.
It's actually so 100% true. I can't tell. I'm always like, even just like earlier, I was like, oh, I'm going to go piss. Like, you don't need to know what's happening with my genitals when I go to the bathroom. I could just say, where's the restroom?
Yeah. And you followed it with she's like, I got to take a piss. Oh, where's the restroom? Is it right around here?
Oh, excuse me. I like my politeness came in.
Is there a powder room down the hall? Because I'm going to hard.
Well, by the way, so you have that really good coconut moisturizer. I love it from Whole Foods.
Sure, yeah, that's expired. So
I shook it. I shook it. Well, I shook it and I squirted, and it squirted all over everywhere. So it just looked like semen. I just like sprayed semen. I did clean it, but
no, that's great. They should have left it.
I should have left it. Been like, Todd, go in there real quick.
Yeah, Todd, go in there and see if you can get rid of the cum.
Jerk off in there so it looks like it's cum.
Just enough to make it look like cum. Wouldn't that be great if Todd went there for a while and then he left and I walked in and I was like, what a virile, robust
it's
man.
It's just everywhere. It's just all over.
Then whenever I see him again, I'm always like, hey, Todd. That just changes the way I think about him.
If you saw Blackfish, they have to masturbate. They have to masturbate telecom.
Inseminate it.
They have to make them telecom. They have to jerk them off or they'll kill, like they go nuts. Which I think is much like being married.
Off the Blackfish?
Yes, they have to masturbate them.
I think that's great.
I know, but this is what I'm gonna say. So there's like this underlying,
yeah.
Like you want to never. None of them want to say anything bad about the animals. They only want to be like everything's great. But it does seem like there is like a beluga whale with like a gun to their head. But like there is a little bit of them like everything's cheery here and good. Except for the one woman who kept saying the vicious thing. I think because she had been fired, she got furloughed.
Oh, that's right.
So I think she had a vendetta. So she was like, I'm going to let a little out.
Yeah, because they can't. And I think there's probably been people who have been mauled or hurt and then they pay them off.
The face is
NDA,
gone.
Yeah. Because think how much money they have.
Yeah, they got to have tons of money.
But like if an otter attacks you.
When otters attack.
I think they've got to give that person like $2 or $3 million.
Yeah.
When otters attack. That's the name of our roller coaster podcast.
When otters attack. We didn't sign anything.
In terms of?
Like, we didn't sign any waivers. We just went around all the animals and we didn't sign a thing.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I wonder
if when you like aren't being given VIP treatment.
No, but when you pick I think that when you sign up for it, you have to do agrees to terms and services. But it was interesting to kind of be VIP. And until I got a little text from a social liaison named Megan O about a certain someone.
You didn't know it was someone yet.
No, I didn't. She goes, I never said, TJ, I have some concerns about SeaWorld. She said she did. I was like, what? What could her concerns be?
By the way, it's her birthday. She was in Palm Springs, like celebrating her 40th birthday, and she's like on like a float with like a non-alcoholic drink.
Calls her
and gets a call from SeaWorld.
And I called. Yeah, she's like, how did you know I was in the water? And SeaWorld said, can you tell TJ? So I call her. I go, what's going on? She goes, well, I got a call from Tracy, and there seem to be some concerns that some of the questions that you guys are asking and some of the interactions might not be appropriate for kids. And I'm like, what did I say?
Kids have been around too. I was like, when were we around kids?
I was like, what? She goes, it's just they're not appropriate and it's a little too adult. So could you just like, look out? And I go to Megan, I go, what are you talking about? I haven't, if anything, it's Annie.
I was in the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom and I'm like, I got to pepper myself. I'm like, I can't wait to like ask how big the dicks are on another animal. Like, and then I can't wait to find out if the butthole is also the vagina, which I did find out. And I was like, I can't wait to ask more of the holes. And I'm like, I'm skipping over and there's just kind of like a melancholy look to the whole crew. Everyone's looking down, fidgeting. And they go, Annie, we got to talk. And I go, what? And I'm always in trouble. So I know I'm in trouble already. So I'm like done. My day was almost over.
Yeah,
you saw a change, right?
You changed. You know what? It took the wind out of your sails.
It did. But you know what brought it back? Arctic Crush or whatever that was called.
Arctic Crush. That's a Mountain Dew flavor, Annie. You know what got me right back on board? The roller coaster called Doritos Pop 3D.
Which, by the way, would that not be the best roller coaster?
Arctic Rush. It's the best Mountain Dew. No, it was. You got your win ticket on your sales. But to be fair, they told you from the jump. From the jump, they were like, the first animal, Annie, for your first experience, this is a sea lion. It's called Harvey. His name's Harvey. And she was like, ooh, did you get a little handsy with the other sea lions? Come here, Weinstein. I want to be in a movie. Can I feed a fish? I want to have an Academy Award. Can I feed a fish?
I might have even said, I'll let you eat me out.
Yeah, you did. You did. I forgot about that.
We have it all on camera, by the way. But it was funny. There was like a moment where I was like, no, we didn't say anything. And we're like thinking. And then all of these things are starting to register. I'm like, oh, I said that. Then I said that.
I think it didn't go well when the guy holding the sloth. I was like, did you always talk like this? Or is it for.
Because he was very like.
Yeah. I used to work at a preschool. And so I think it started probably there. He's holding the sloth out like
sloth
this.
Was like, had its legs wrapped around his waist and then was gripping the branch and like didn't want to go. And he's kind of like pulling it like this. Yeah. And I go, I go, Joel the preschooler's like that. This guy, by the way, he didn't laugh. He kind of chuckled at some of your things, but he was annoyed.
He goes, I never held the preschoolers.
I never held the preschoolers.
And one of my favorite parts of the entire weekend was as we left that, and he goes, I used to be a preschool teacher. There's no fucking way he didn't hold the preschoolers.
They're kids. They need you to hold them. Sometimes you got to get them up on things and stuff. I never held the children. I'm like, ew, then maybe you're guilty.
Yeah, maybe you did.
Then we saw him at the dolphin dance at the end, and I think he held some kids.
Yeah.
The dolphin dance is so funny. Like, what if you want to be a dolphin trainer, but you're like, I'm not comfortable dancing. You just can't be a dolphin trainer?
No, they're like, that is part of it.
That's part of it.
Yeah, because you know what I think, and the dancing's really stupid, but it just occurs to me that it's kind of leveling the playing field. It's like if you're going to make all these dolphins do these tricks and dance around.
You better be wiggling that booty too.
You better wiggle that booty and slap those hands.
Who told us to wiggle our butts? Was it with the sea lions? We had to, yes.
Yeah. You
I was shaking right in front of Harvey.
Yeah, and then
I shook my front butt.
Well, I know more people call it that.
That was really
and then I get really
so
sad
funny.
for the rest of the podcast.
That was me after I got in trouble.
Yeah.
The guess the weight got me upset first. I wasn't really upset. If I was heavier, I would have been upset.
Yeah.
If I actually was heavier.
Okay, we should probably tell the story before you tailspin into how you don't ever tailspin.
I haven't slept a minute since I worked with you.
You can't stop thinking about SeaWorld.
SeaWorld was everything.
It was so fun. So we went to do the guess your weight thing, and they were like, well, it's $10 for each person or $20 if you want the. I was like, okay. What if we don't want any of your Chinese toys that I could buy online for $10? I could buy 50 of these.
You did say this.
And they're like, you kind of have to do that. But then people started to recognize me, and one of the supervisors was like, you can let them do it. So they tried to guess the weight. I thought they're going to be really good at this because they do it all day, I guess. And I don't know. All they have to do is guess your weight or your age.
And they were nervous. Like they really wanted to do a good job. Like it wasn't like maybe they were phoning it in.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was. But they guess your weight, put it on a board, and then you get on the scale and they turn around. And for you, they get, well, first of all, we'll go in order.
Let's do you first.
I got on the scale.
By the way, a little girl quit after this. Like she was, there was a girl doing it and then she was no longer there. She was removed. She was furloughed.
There was a very small sort of ethnically ambiguous male guy come over. So I went over, maybe she was so sad because of what happened with me, but I went over the scale and I don't know how she didn't see this. But I put my finger under it was an old scale that used to do it like that. But I kind of pushed down on the, you guys,
yeah,
Todd,
so
you know about
like a sign.
You know about a little bit of this. You know about that.
Look.
That's what he did the orca whale too.
Yeah, well, if you don't masturbate, then they go crazy.
You got to do it. The women too.
So I push down, and I look, and she looks at it, and she's like, "Oh man, I guess I got it wrong." And it's
she took
273 pounds.
She took
that's nearly 50 pounds more than I weigh. I would look insane. If I weighed 273 in my head, there would be no neck. My head would become my shoulders immediately. I thought that was so amazing. And so she So she was like, damn it. Like, didn't
She
get
was
it.
upset. She was gone. Like we didn't see her in the
she
park.
left.
We didn't see her in the park again.
She went over, you know what she did? She was so depressed, she went over and started baiting the otters.
She said,
You
just take my
vicious little
face.
fucks, take my life.
I don't deserve this face anymore.
And
then they brought like a nugget of a man. Like he was just a
Keith
cute
is
little
great.
nugget. No, not Keith.
Which-
The man that they had guess my weight.
yeah,
Keith,
yeah.
I forgot about Keith, but not Keith.
No. But Keith did.
Keith's not a nugget.
No. He's
I would enjoy watching him eat
becoming.
nuggets.
He's becoming a nugget. I'd love to see him watch.
I would love to
chicken
watch.
nuggets.
I would love to watch him
He
eat a
loves-
20
You know
piece
what's funny
nugget.
about him? He'll eat the same because he has Asperger's.
Right.
He'll eat the same thing over and over until he gets tired of it. So for a while, the only thing he was eating was Panda Express sweet walnut shrimp
Good choice.
over and over. And then whenever he's in Texas, he has to only eat Whataburger.
I love it.
That's it. So, but he's fasting, and I told him he's so unique.
Yeah, he's great.
So I told him, I said to him, you know, are you trying? He's like, I wish I could lose some weight. I go, tell you what, do this fasting app with me. And if you can get your weight to 250, I thought he weighed like 280. I don't know. So
Oh,
you get
somebody lost their job.
If you can get your weight,
Keith just got a stuffed animal.
shit. So 250. I got it. I didn't understand in the beginning. Now I
you
get
played
it.
along and I like that.
stand
That's
by.
sweet.
I stand by. Not laughing at it. So Keith was like, at a certain, you know, well, and I said, if you can go to 250, I'll buy you a tattoo, which is what he really wanted.
He wants a tattoo?
He really wants a tattoo. He has a tattoo of an old timey
yes.
microphone with Norm Macdonald.
Yes.
So he has a couple tattoos, but he wants to get like a snake around he is such a weirdo, but he wants to get a snake kind of around his arm.
Does that
I said if you
represent
can get to
another?
250,
Is that for Saget?
He said it's cool.
Oh.
He said, I
Okay,
want to get
I like
that. And I
that.
said, why? What's that for? He goes, I think it's cool. And so I said, if you get to 250, I'll buy you the tattoo. So then he went crazy and he started doing these fasts. He did I think he beat me, but my longest fast is 54 hours. But, you know, we found out, he goes, well, I did like 72. And I was like, you did you? And then later we find out he's just sucking down Diet Cokes.
Oh,
and fucking,
he ordered, they got our coffee
Yeah,
order. He got a white chocolate mocha. That's like 1,000 calories.
And I go, wait a second, Keith.
He's like, you're
That's
not even
part
have
of
coffee. It's
fasting.
like, that is not coffee. There's no coffee in that.
That's chocolate with like a drop of espresso. So I said to him, and so he actually weighed 301 pounds. So he now weighs 370. He lost 30 pounds. That's a lot of
270.
weight.
You said 370.
Yeah.
You're like, he gained 70 pounds.
I would be horrible at that game. I'd give it. I'd be over at the Otter Pond. And so he has cut a lot of weight. So he gets on, and she guessed she guessed 450.
No, she did not.
No, she guessed, what did she guess? 293 or something. And he got on there, it was 273 or 271. And so far, all of us are feeling pretty, I did the crazy thing, but Keith's feeling pretty good. He's like, hey man, he guessed her. So then Annie gets on.
I get on. And the guy
Annie
that
gets
came,
your fun.
the show, the guy that comes to do mine, okay, he's a little man, okay? He's got a vendetta
Against all women.
against women. I don't
you
want to
might
call him
be
an
right,
incel.
actually.
I don't want to call him an incel, but he is the size of a small cell.
No.
And
He's a tin cell.
no,
a
he was
teeny
a very
tiny tin cell.
he was very sweet, but I go, don't
That's
fuck
pretty
this
funny.
up.
He's a tin cell. You put tin cell around.
I didn't get it, but I fake laughed. And I stand by not thinking it's funny.
Do you also stand by laughing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do both.
Yeah.
You know that.
That's your
As
dynamic.
a talker with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
But okay, so
That has got to be your album title of your next album.
I'm very good. I'm just very good. You can just throw me names and I got something.
Todd.
Well, gay. I was gonna
Okay.
say I don't want to get canceled.
Perfect.
I don't know. What else? What do we say? Ching Chong
I
Boy?
did not
don't
want
know.
to be on this podcast.
You've done so well with your image and you come on here and I
think
ruin
so.
it for
It's
you.
great. Yeah, right.
So I get there and I go to the guy. I go, look, I've lost a bunch of weight. I think you can get this.
I'm sure you said a Zempic at one point.
I said I've been on a Ozempic.
There were very few interactions
where I didn't mention it.
where she didn't mention his head.
That's part of it.
We went to
Part of
Tacos
it.
El Gordo and she was like, let me start by saying, Ozempic.
They're like, ¿cómo?
They're like, por favor. No, en serio.
So, okay,
Este
so
cuerpo probablemente no.
your Spanish was very good. I was very
Muchísimas
impressed.
gracias.
I loved how you spoke to them. They were so pleased.
Women really like that. Isn't
No,
that
I like
interesting?
seeing them pleased with you. I don't give a about you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, let's just be
It
clear.
seems like it. Yeah, this doesn't look like any projecting or anything.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I could
No.
care less about doing
Well,
this
then
podcast.
Azak's flew in. It is nice to see. It's very so respectful to speak another language, I think.
I think it's cool. Yeah,
And the
Kate
guys were like
loves
so
it when I
happy. They were
speak.
like so happy. Todd, what do you speak?
I speak nothing.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's English right there.
No.
You f***ing liar.
Some French.
Say something in Laotian.
I don't know anything in Laotian.
His mom tried. Isn't that so disrespectful? His mom.
You didn't learn any
She
Crossed
language.
a
didn't try.
minefield.
She didn't try. I begged her to teach me something, and she
What
never
grade
did.
were you when you realized you were smarter than your parents?
After 5th grade, my parents couldn't help me with my homework.
Isn't that so funny? But his dad's from here.
I was gonna say, well, they're foreign. It's like, no, his dad is a high school teacher in New Jersey.
They're the best.
He
They're
couldn't
so
help
funny.
after 5th grade, but he doesn't need to worry about it.
His family rules. They're so awesome. But okay, so I go. I'm sure he'll be fine. He guesses like, and as someone I have lost 30 pounds on Ozempic, he guessed like my old weight. Basically, it was like I none of this has been worth it. He guessed like 15, like maybe 20 pounds over my weight, and then so I go, oh okay. So I go, why don't we guess yours? And then I was going to do the opposite. And I said he weighed 50 pounds. It's like when you tell a little kid, when little kids say you're old, you just tell them, you look like you're one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not one.
You look like you're. I have never heard of anybody doing that.
But is that so funny?
I
Like
have
if a
never
kid were to call
heard
you
of a
old.
person going up to a kid who's like, I'm 3 years old. Well, you look like you're one. I am not one. Well, listen, I got to go take a piss, kid. But trust you me, you don't look like you're 3
No, the
at
kid
all.
looks at you and goes, what are you, 80 or whatever you, like your version of that could hurt them is telling them they're a baby.
No, I know how it works and why it works. There's absolutely nothing that gets in the way of that.
Well-
What I think I'm trying to say is I've never heard of a person going up to a child and being
What
like,
do you want?
You don't look, what are you, one? You must be a little baby. Do you need me to change your diaper, little baby? And the kid's like, I'm 12. Baby.
I don't know why I got a complaint at SeaWorld, but it was very, very fun. It was
Yeah,
very
it was
fun.
great. But yeah, it was fun. That was funny. And then we got a good picture of you, which it said like larger animals aren't
Yeah.
allowed. And it's just so funny.
I think all of our roller coaster pics were pretty good too.
Yeah,
They were
and we
pretty epic.
did get great pictures. But the thing about SeaWorld that I thought was so funny is like we could have gone to like, I mean, we not necessarily would, but like Six Flags or Busch Gardens
Right.
or something, or we could have gone to like, I don't know, what's that place up north, the Dutch colony place, the Solvang, and then
What is it?
there's Solvang. There's all these places that we could have gone that would have been funny. But the thing is SeaWorld is just like different than anything else. There's no other place you can do that. We did so many things that not only have we never done, that we won't do again.
Yeah.
Likely. I'm not sure I'll go on maybe with your kids, I would go.
Yes.
But,
bring them
you know,
on.
but I mean, I'm not going to go with you guys.
one-year-olds.
But, well, you look like
The
you're
one-year-olds.
one. And
One
so,
forever.
yeah, so it was really cool because, and you were just so game for everything. That was one of my favorite
It was
things.
so fun.
And I thought, some people bring their significant other and they're happy and it's, you can see they're a great couple, but sometimes their significant other is a bummer.
Right. And so that's why I
Yeah.
brought Todd. He is a bummer, but he does film.
He films.
No,
And
Todd was like, Todd
he
is
won't let us
great.
use his phone to film.
I know. Is that weird? He
There are
doesn't
all
want us to
kinds
see
of
those
great
nudes
things.
on there.
Yeesh.
Yeah, it's of
Nudes
himself.
of you, but they were before Ozempic. He's like,
Don't you
don't,
show
Annie,
those
don't look.
nudes. Don't
That
you
was
show
when you
those
were so
nudes.
much more attracted to her. Now people are like, Todd, so what do you think after Annie lost all the weight? He's like, she's a stick.
She's got nothing.
Nothing
Her
to
ass
hold
went
on
away.
to. She just slides off the hospital bed.
Now, what was the hole called that the sloth had? That was like the one thing I wanted to remember.
Calakia
Calakia.
or something. I don't know if that's it. I just remember, I'm sad that you didn't get it because you
Coloquia.
should use it. It's like colloquia
I
or
was
something.
Coloquia
And
to
then
the
you turned
Coloquia.
and you were like, you're like, what is that called? He's like, colloquia. And he's like, that's my black child's name. He just went right into that. It's the name of my black daughter.
It was
Coloquia.
so fun. But so it's a whole
Which is offensive for like 3 reasons. Was why
I think I
loved it.
landed it better. I said it a little different.
It was probably funnier.
Well, I have a black kid.
Oh, okay.
I do.
That's why. Well, truth is comedy. Truth and comedy.
All my compliments.
How
We
you
watched
doing?
the
Is that
roast.
SeaWorld? Or
We
they
watched
sort
the
of-
roast. I was the first person to go to SeaWorld and say the C word.
I think that's
we
true.
went to the roast, or we watched the roast right before we came over here.
Who? Oh, you and Todd?
While I was getting ready, we were watching the roast.
I thought you were lying and saying the two of us watched it, and I was again going to be like, it's pretty good.
It was crazy.
Eddie, why don't you tell them all
But it
about
was good. So I sent out all my compliments to people, and they're all coming back. Because
What do
I
you
mean,
mean?
some people really smashed up that roast. It was really funny.
What do you mean they're all
Nikki
coming back?
Glazer like killed.
Did
the
she?
roast.
I was hoping.
She always does.
Yeah, she
She
said she
fucking
was nervous
always
about it. I
has
did
it.
a show with her where she ran the jokes, and she was nervous about it. But I watched the jokes, and I was like,
No, she killed
some of
him.
these are f***ing crazy strong. And the cool thing about her is she's a good editor of her own stuff.
Right.
So she'll either make it smaller, make it good, or get rid of
And
it.
she acted out everything perfectly. It was absolutely
I love
excellent.
her, dude.
But
She's
she
great.
always kills the roast. And I think her being nervous is actually really good because she's not going in like, not that many people like phoned it in, but you could just tell, like, obviously she has comedy chops from just doing comedy, but the fact that she's going around and running it everywhere and like having those nerves is, I think, why she just slammed. I mean, she slammed. Like, it was so good. And then
Yeah, she's so
Tony
good.
came up and crushed too. It was like Tony Hitchcock was like in the audience and then came up. It was pretty amazing. It was really good. So I
That's
sent
great.
my compliments to people and they're coming back now.
Coming back, what do you mean?
They're texting back. Everyone's
I
responding
thought
because
you were
everyone's
saying
like
you were
hungover.
bouncing because everybody changed their number.
Oh, it's so sad when you text someone and it goes green. You're like, oh, I didn't get the new number.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
that's dark. Doesn't usually happen.
That's pretty dark.
I've heard
Yeah,
about it.
Tony Hinchcliffe would do great because that's what he is. That's like his wheelhouse.
And I think he wasn't like really supposed to be on the roast, like, or maybe it was like a last minute thing or something. So he was in the audience. So it was like, it was almost underdoggy. So he came in and he was very confident. Like, it was like, and his eyes were all bloodshot. He was like, and he was writing, you could tell he was watching and he was writing jokes while he was watching other people's sets. It was really good. And Tom Brady's just like,
yeah, he's his own thing.
yeah, his face. is
Nikki
just,
had good jokes about that.
Oh.
His face melted in the microwave or
She
something
didn't
like
do,
that.
did she? No, she said Gronk was in the microwave, right? Her Gronk, but Kevin Hart came on after her and was like, that was like unbelievable.
Really?
It was
nice.
really good. But I'm telling you, I went to the last roast. She just killed. She's like the best at it. She's so good at it. She delivers the jokes perfectly. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, that's so fun. I love those roasts. I was gonna be on one.
I would like
I
you
think
on one.
Justin Bieber. But I had to do something else. It like didn't quite work out, which was a bummer. And it was like one of those moments where it's like I'd rather do the roast, but it was like you can't give up that money.
Right.
Type of
Yes,
situation.
exactly.
It might have been for a movie or something like that.
But
Have
were
you
you-
not done one?
I've not done. I've
Oh,
done
you
like
would be
Whitney's.
amazing.
I'm in. I'm available.
Like-
I'm down. I'm ready to go. I did a roast like Whitney did one with
All the producers
OnlyFans.
at, like,
I
always
did.
like, well, we looked at it.
Whitney had an OnlyFans one. I did that. That was really fun to write for
That's
because it's like
great.
it's always like the last minute jokes you come up with too that are the best ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I was just sitting there that day in hair and makeup, and I was thinking about all of Whitney's hair colors. Remember she had dyed her hair.
Yeah, she blue and pink.
I came
and-
up with this. I go, Whitney had. What do you get when you have 3 different hair colors over 6 months? Bipolar 2. And it was just like,
Yeah,
I
that's
came with like
great.
right in the moment. I was like, fuck yes. But it was really fun.
So fun.
Yeah, I like roasting. I hate being roasted, but I love being roasted. But I like roasting.
You
so.
do hate being roasted?
I mean, not by like you. If it's real, you know what I don't like? I don't like being called a thing I'm not. Like if they're like, oh, she doesn't know her dad or whatever. It's like, oh, you obviously don't know me at all because I'm like,
Yeah.
everything's with my dad or something. I don't
No,
like when they give you
I
like,
get
I bang my dad. That's what you're saying.
that.
My dad's probably watching this. Hi, Dad.
Congrats, Mr. Letterman. You get another pin on
He
your
did
Letterman
this-
jacket.
He did make me this way. Well, I always think because my mom's a really good artist and I have like artistic skills from my mom. And then my dad's really funny. So I'm funny because of my dad. And my mom gave me no attention for my art. Like she was just drifting off. Like
Yeah,
I'm actually
That's
doing my art. So
interesting.
stop.
yeah.
And so if my mom had encouraged my art the way my dad encouraged my comedy, I think I might have been an artist instead of a comedian.
What was your art?
I just drew and stuff. I didn't pursue it though because I didn't get any
That's
attention from it.
interesting. Wow.
It was like my mom was like more annoyed when I was doing
Yeah,
it.
comedian is I think a much better job
It's so
than
fun.
being an artist. It's like so much more fun.
And then whatever bad happens in life, that's what I was like. Anything stupid that happens becomes like a bit.
Yeah,
There's
which
no
is so
real
much better.
failure.
Instead of being like, oh my God,
I
I've got
know.
to get
Look, this
out.
actually represents.
Well, and Kate's art is sort of, it's interesting. It's kind of both. It's like about really sad stuff, but then other stuff is just like whimsical and fun. So I like that balance for sure. I had a roast for my 30th birthday. Todd, you'll love this. I had a roast for my 30th birthday and a bunch of people went on it. My father did it and he was great. He killed it. But Pete Holmes was on it, all these people, and John Mulaney was on it. That's kind of the only joke I remember. He got on stage. It was like at UCB in New York. He got on stage and he was like, how much longer until TJ ironically gets a gun? And I just thought that was so good. That was really, really funny. Yeah. So I used to think he was really something.
Wow. Well, right now he's doing a live Netflix. John, it's sad you couldn't be here. He was going to come, but he's doing his
To
live
the
Netflix.
podcast. Yeah, I think so.
No, he did my last Anniewood and Friends. It was fun. I wish you were going to be here on Thursday. The show's already sold out.
It's Anniewood and Friends?
Yeah. Are you going to be here on the 21st?
Maybe. Well, what day is it?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Come do my Anniewood and Friends
I would
at the Comedy Store.
assume so.
Well, I'll just text you. It doesn't matter. But maybe TJ will be on it. They're so
and
fun.
maybe also when she texts me, it'll go green.
It's time.
Should we have a spirit drink?
Let's have a spirit drink.
This is so fun.
I want to ask you your
I'd
Harvey
love to come
Weinstein
back.
story.
Yeah, I can't wait. Did I not tell you it?
Well, you started, and then we'll talk about it on the podcast. Thank you.
Oh my God, she's
Ooh,
drinking a whiskey.
Fun. It really smells like alcohol.
Yeah, that's kind of the deal. You know, there's this whole thing for young pussies.
Are you sure
Did
this
you
is
try it?
This is not alcohol?
Zero proof whiskey.
Oh wow, that's so weird.
So this is
I have
called
to put it everywhere
Monday.
because did you fill it up with? That would be a funny prank.
Zero calories. Yeah, just get her shit faced.
Like this stuff rules. This is
That would
awesome.
be a really funny
I would love
prank.
it to a free lapse.
Because you're not an alcoholic,
Relapse.
right?
I mean,
Okay.
yeah. See me sober, imagine me drunk.
Doesn't really taste like whiskey,
It
but
smells
it's
like it, but
interesting.
it has a little bit of the.
You know what it has? The way that they make it kind of have a burn or something is it's spicy. And they do that with a lot of these. This is way better than I remember.
This tastes real.
Look at how this gay.
I loved
All this.
whiskey,
Look at
too.
this.
I loved whiskey. This was my
A
drink.
cultural shift is underway. A mindset towards self-care, staying sharp, and living life without compromise. I'm so excited we have that forever now. A movement that refuses to choose between good health and great taste. Whether you don't drink alcohol, you're just sober curious.
That's disgusting. Sober curious. I'm rye curious.
Ooh, nasty.
That's better.
Monday is here to help you. Cheers with delicious drinks. I mean, it's good, but it's like, let's see what it's
Get
like on the
over
rocks.
yourself. Monday.
Sober curious is so lame.
Is it called Monday because you can still enjoy your Monday?
Exactly. Sober curious is so lame, man. Don't you
Sober
think?
curious is one of the worst things, or is it the best thing? Because we'll keep thinking about it. I'll probably think about it for a while. Sober curious. It also does kind of encapsulate a group
That
of people.
generation. It
Because those
does.
people do come to me, like sober curious people
They're
come
bisexual.
to me. They go, "Can I eat you out for 20 million?" I go, "Yes, you can, sir."
Yeah.
I mean, we
But
gotta
I
break him
prefer an
out.
Academy Award.
Oh, let's break him out.
Let's break it out. So I did this film called Our Idiot Brother. It was independently financed.
Hilarious movie. We loved it.
It's great. It's Paul Rudd. It's Rashida Jones. It's Elizabeth Banks. It was like a star-studded cast, all because this guy, Jesse Peretz. There's some people in Hollywood that they can get a lot of things done just because they know and are friends with everybody.
Mhm.
They have a way
Hollywood
to,
pal.
Yeah, what is it? My favorite is Jamie Babbitt. And she just is really good friends with Drew Barrymore. And so she's like, want to do a movie? And Drew's like, yeah, that sounds like fun. So Jesse Peretz
Drew
did
goes,
that.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I
She
love
goes,
her.
She's so cute. She's so precious. She's like gazing in everyone's eyes. She's like, "Tell me."
Yeah.
She got in kind
She
of
also
trouble
can
just a
act
second ago.
weird. She also acts really weird. The movie that I did
Was she
with
like a
her was
hippie?
very interesting.
What did you do with her?
This movie called The Stand-In, which is a dark Hollywood comedy that
Okay.
I actually love it. But she's she was method acting, and she plays herself and her stand-in.
Awesome.
And so as the stand-in, she was afraid to talk to me. But as the movie star, because she also plays a movie star, it was so interesting. She just kind of hung out with me as a movie star. She was like, "What's up, TJ?" Like just talking to me as another movie star. And it was so like, it was just really weird because you really felt like she was this, but she was talking as Drew, the movie star, not as like Candy Black or something.
Right.
But she was, so I think she's a really good actor.
Yeah.
Actress.
Method acting's weird. Have you ever method acted?
No, I'm not really a good actor. I've head acted. Oh no, Annie did.
It sounded like what Annie would have done.
Yeah, I like it. I like meth. So that was its own experience. It was fantastic. But Jesse Peretz got this independently financed it. It's a really good movie. And then they shopped around and the Weinstein Company bought it. And then they came to us and said, it's not called My Idiot Brother. It was originally called My Idiot Brother. Like, you're going to call it Our Idiot Brother. And I was like, that's horrible. Just like I was in this movie called She's Out of Your League. And it was supposed to be She's Out of My League. I'm like, why did you change? I think Steven Spielberg changed it to Your.
He's like, we need the audience to feel like they are the character.
I think so. And I think Our Idiot Brother is like, you're a part of the, yeah, it's so weird. Anyways, that was one note. And the second note, they go, we need to shoot another scene that shows where TJ and Paul are like, what happened to them. And so then we went and we shot and we have our own candle story. We make our own candles and we have a dog. And it's just, it shows us being like buddies and everything. It's a happy ending kind of, even though the mean girl and everybody else got f***ed over. It's a happy ending. And, you know, I'm his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. And then we'd kind of ditch her because she's terrible. To us make these candles. And I swear to God, everybody comes to me and is like, I love, that's the best scene in the whole movie, man. When you say that line, they quote the line from it, which was improvised. They just loved it and people loved it. And that's what, you know, really made the movie. And so what we were talking about is like, it's really weird because he is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like, I think
we got to break Harvey out. And I am talking about the sea lion. We've got to get him out of SeaWorld
just
quick.
Harvey the sea lion. But it's like, that's kind of the problem. It's like, you know, he really has contributed more to American culture than maybe anybody. Like,
I would love to contribute my culture to him.
But isn't it? I think he has 87 Academy Awards. Something amazing.
And you do kind of see like how movies are a little bit different now. They're a little longer.
Yeah.
I always say there's not as many like new actresses. All of them are either like Nepo babies or they were Disney stars. He was actually like.
And all of the Academy Award winning films that he did were like bangers. They were just amazing. And he did The Artist, and he was able to bring movies into public consciousness that weren't
we don't call them bangers, we call them eater-outers.
Oh, Annie did!
We're editing all this out.
Thank you so much.
I'm still trying to work in this town. Do you want to ask the questions? Were you done?
No, I thought that was a good exit line, but we can keep going.
Okay. No, I was just going to say the question.
No, if you've got something else, this is your podcast.
Patreon questions.
Yeah.
Well, I like that.
One of them was, do you have any advice on, do you have any?
It was Tim asked.
Yeah. Any advice on Annie doing her special was one of the questions.
Which is hilarious because I think you probably have the same problem as me.
Do material. No, just kidding. When are you doing your special?
I don't know. I keep pushing it because I never feel ready.
What's it going to be called?
Your Idiot Brother.
His idiot brother. It's even a guy. It's not even a girl.
Harvey, eat me out.
Yeah, that's one. That could be one. Advice on doing a special.
Should I name it first? That's kind of fun.
You don't have a name for it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you know what? I do that with movies though too. I sort of come up with a title and then everything follows the title. That. So like I had two shorts that went to Sundance, and the first one was Successful Alcoholics, and the other one was I'm having a difficult time killing my parents.
Should we do one called Sober Curious?
Yeah, Zero Proof.
Sober Curious sounds like the most boring buddy comedy ever. It's just two people deciding whether or not they want to quit drinking. Could be funny.
That is
That'd
amazing.
Actually be so funny.
That'd be kind of funny if the two of us were in that. We're just total disasters.
Yeah, so we're like, should we quit?
But also everybody loves us.
Yes.
Like our parents think we're so funny.
Yeah.
We make a ton of money because we go on stage shit face.
Maybe a doctor's like, you guys are gonna like you're fucked, and we're like, oh.
But the sober curious thing is kind of funny that it's like one day both of us are like, what if maybe it's like something happens and we're just like, what if we were sober? Or we're just tired of being the crazy drunken party people.
We want people to know the true us, but then maybe everyone hates us.
And I think we're stand-up comedians who became famous from like a Jersey Shore type of reality show.
Okay, a reality show. I like that. Or something going viral.
Yeah, something goes viral. Oh no, something goes viral because we both get drunk
so
and you
crazy.
shit on the windshield of a cop car, and I'm making the cops laugh.
We're like selling out arenas because we did that.
It would be great. Yeah, we're both good comics, but that's so funny. Yeah. That would be hilarious. And maybe it's even just clubs because we have access to that. But our tickets are like $150 a piece.
They're really expensive.
And we're so drunk, and both of us are like, did we say there should be $150? And the agents are like, yeah, you called us and then you started retching on the phone. And it's like, we have GERD. We both have GERD. So I think you should name it. What did we just say the name of we just said on this episode, you should name your special.
What was it? Todd.
We both turned to a guy who smokes weed before he starts driving. He's like, I won't be able to operate this Tesla unless I am high.
He gets nervous.
What was it? You're gonna have to look back and see
Anniewood? No,
and it wasn't. It was like not mean spray. It was something. Talker with a heart of gold.
Oh, Talker with a heart of gold. That's not
kind
bad.
of good because it's true. It's exactly right. You're the one that said it, not me. It's exactly right. You're kind of no, because you wouldn't use it if I said it. So because I
don't
say
take
it.
his.
But I think
he tried. He was giving me notes the whole time. Can you imagine? We just had like a full note weekend. I'm like, I would do it though.
Hooker with a heart of gold. Talker with a heart of gold. That's it. I think it's really perfectly does it because when you're on stage, you're not talking about people, but you are sort of talking. You're kind of like, files.
I'm going to areas,
yeah. You're kind of, but you're sort of talking shit about everybody, and every time you say something where the audience is like, "Whoa," you're kind of talking to them because you're kind of be like, "Don't be a bunch of these like."
Well,
just,
also, it's like
it's
we're
a
gonna pretend
joke.
this
It's
is
fine. Yeah,
I think I'm allowed to make fun of I think they're a group we're allowed to make fun of. Are they not?
Yeah, I mean, I still think what is said in therapy should be said in therapy. Are there any other Patreon questions? Name your special. Just keep doing it. Like I did this NFT special, and I just did 5 sets one night, 7 sets another night. It's just like
do a million. Yeah,
it gets it into your whole thing, and that's why New York is better than Los Angeles for that.
Right.
But I think make it shorter than it should be. So are you going to do an hour?
I was going to do an hour, but
do 51 minutes or
51
something like
minutes.
that. Because everybody
guessing.
sees an hour on their time.
They go,
they look like, I'll get back to this. So I did my Dear Jonah, link in the description.
So many links.
My special Dear Jonah is 47 minutes. And
Yeah.
I even now look at that, I'm like,
It's too
tough
long.
to get people to. So from now on, I think I'm going to kind of do specials that are like 35 minutes.
I know. Maybe I will just do a shorter one, and then I can do 2.
Yeah, do 2.
Yeah.
And then you could release them separately at the same time or stagger them and do one 6 months.
Yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
have 2 specials in the can right now
What are you gonna do with
that
them?
I did that are from a year and a half ago.
But they're NFTs, so you can't.
No, they're actual specials.
So what are you doing?
I've just had too many other things going on to like
Too much to release. Too many links. Are there not too many links in this fucking bio?
get the peanut butter. Quit being a fucking pedophile.
Just get the peanut butter, okay?
You can use it. Children
With
love
the
peanut
kids,
butter.
lure 'em in. Do you like chocolate? You like peanut butter and chocolate? We have
Do
no
you
banana.
have GERD? You do? Well, you look like you're 1. You don't even look like you're 6. You look like a little baby.
It was so fun this weekend. Thank you for bringing me.
Great.
And by the way, you guys should see TJ live. It was very fun. I did watch your sets, but from the green room.
Thank you.
But they were all hilarious, so funny.
Yeah, well, you were paying attention the whole time.
What?
I know this because Keith told me exactly what they talked about while I was on stage.
And he said,
He's a
"Does she hate
mole.
me?" He asked Todd if I hated him. I'm like, Keith, I must
I know,
shower
it's so
you.
funny. But he really
loved
likes
him.
you. Yeah, I had to
No, I
explain.
thought he was great.
I had to explain him. I'd explained you to him.
Yeah.
I told you that. That was really funny. That he was like, I just feel like Annie like talks about a lot of people and has something to say about everybody. And I was like, yeah,
can I
she
just say
talks
that,
shit.
By the way, he said some of the most insane pieces of gossip I've ever heard.
Yeah, I know.
I heard things in that green room, not from me, where I'm like, the fact that you motherfuckers are trying to put this up. I'm just cute when I say it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, she is.
there is a volume. There's a quick volume. Okay. But I don't think I'm given good pieces. I got pieces of intel that were wild.
Wild.
I was off camera. I'll tell you some of the things Keith said that we were like, ooh, that like, there's like a conspiracy that just ended in that green room that like Reddit will never know, but wants to know so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Like it was like Hardy Boys
just-
could not solve a crime that this man solved for me in that green room.
He's got Asperger's.
I went, but the thing is, I a little bit also have, I have like, obviously not like him, but I was like on this, as a kid, they gave me like occupational therapy and stuff. Like I went to autistic people therapy.
Really?
So I do have a little bit of a truth thing. You have a little bit of a truth thing too, especially
Well,
for a
I'm
Hollywood
brain
guy.
damaged. We didn't even talk about that at all. I have
Spit it out.
TBI, traumatic brain injury, and AVM that I was born with, and it hemorrhaged in 2010, right after I did Yogi Bear 3D. Coincidence? and they had to remove it in 2010. So a golf ball sized piece of my right frontal lobe was removed. And I can't wait to talk about it on the next Annie show.
Oh, he's coming back, guys.
Annie did.
Annie did. We did.
Annie and TT did.
And guys, look for our new podcast, Rolling on Those Coasters with
Rolling
TJ
on the
and
coaster.
Annie.
That's so funny.
With TJ and Annie.
Rolling on the coaster. No G, just apostrophe.
They roll in. And I think we will need to have one autistic comic behind us grinning the happy. He was the
He was
happiest
so
ever been in his
happy.
life. I was like, because, we're smiling, then not smiling. Like the
Yeah.
pictures didn't capture everything. I mean, he was the entire
Delighted
ride.
the entire. I love
It was
it.
so
He
good.
was squealing with delight.
But it was so fun. It was great working with you. It
Have
was
you
great
always
watching yourself.
gone by Annie, or did you ever go by like Anathan, or your actual name?
Annabelle, yes, Annabelle.
Your name's Annabelle?
No, my name's Anne with an E, like Frank.
Okay.
Anne Francis. Lederman is my name. My parents were so close to naming me Anne Frank. They're like, how do we do it without doing it?
Anne Francis.
Anne Francis Letterman.
Why would they have named you after Anne Frank?
It's just, I don't know if
That
they meant to do it on
explains
purpose.
Everything. Every single
My
thing
parents
about
like,
you
can we
is
throw like a
explained with
little
your parents
Holocaust
being
joke
like,
into this?
hey, Anne Frank? That's pretty funny, man. Let's do Anne Francis. We don't want to fuck up her life.
Can you imagine if I was just named Anne Frank?
I like you going by Anne Frank. It's great.
Maybe. Why not? We'll see. Anne Frank's Diary. Diarrhea. That's the name of my special.
That should be it.
Anne Frank's
Anne
Diarrhea.
Frank's diarrhea. That's fucking great, dude.
Anyway, cheers. This was
Cheers.
amazing. I love being
Cheers to
sober
being-
curious with you.
Sober curious.
Thank you, Todd.
And to Patreon.
And the last question,
You're wasting money.
the last question Patreon had, I'll just answer for you, was how was it working on the set of Silicon Valley? And it was amazing. He loved it.
Thank you. I thought you were doing a joke where you're like, I was working on the set of
I'm just
I
that
haven't
guy.
worked in years.
That guy, that fucking guy on stage. Like, I all of a sudden
Yes.
realized there's an audience watching this.
Yes.
We didn't even talk about the little man that came on stage and was racist on your show. There's so many stories. We didn't even talk about the risk. We didn't even get to Sunday.
We
didn't
forgot
even get
to talk
Sunday.
about a dwarf who did stand up for the first time and breaking into an insurance risk management
Got kicked
conference.
into the conference. We were held into
We were held inside. We got in and they didn't want to let us out.
They said they would call the authorities if we
Call
tried
the
to
police.
leave. They said they would call the cops.
She said, you can't leave this way. I was like, I don't have a ticket. She's like, well, then I'm going to call the police and tell them for sneaking into a thing. I was like, call the police.
It's like, lady, your boss was the one that let us in, okay?
It's San Diego, you idiot.
We like the security guards on the other side of this party, okay? Because those ones let us in. You guys aren't letting us out.
It was so weird. I had to bowl through, and then I expected you two to just follow me as I nearly knocked the woman over. And
We
instead, I
watched the
got to
footage.
the
You
other
were very
side.
polite.
I turn around, and it's the two of you being like, I don't think we were supposed
She
to
was
go
like
through."
charging us, and then she stood like this. You got through, and then she went and stood in front of the thing as wide as she could. I would have had to knock her over.
And then, much weirder, you could have just gone through the restaurant and then.
But we went on. It took 25
And I turned
minutes.
around and I was like, I want to be like, where are you guys?
The security
like,
followed us all the way back the other way. We're like, everyone was on their wall. Every security was like on their walkies. It's like, you guys, this is a risk management convention. What would we do here?
I don't know what they thought. The funniest thing is we did look like we look. Well, I had on a much crazier outfit. But I mean, I had a SeaWorld blue jacket on that black people love. I was wearing a pink tie-dye SeaWorld thing. This hat. He looked like exactly like that.
When you were blowing the bubble, he would interview people and he was using like the bubble thing from SeaWorld as the microphone. And he would get them. It's a boring what they were doing was very boring. They're all like insurance companies that work for Target and stuff. It's like, it was horrible for them. It was exciting that they saw TJ. Everyone knew he was. So he's interviewing them. Here, interview me. Like, are you warming it up? Okay. So yeah. So they're just interviewing and then just slowly bubbles would go into a man's mouth as he's interviewing him. He's like, so what company do you work for? And the bosses are laughing because it's like, oh, Todd, don't fall. But yeah, it was an epic weekend.
So where are you from?
And they'd be like, "Oh, I'm from."
And what exactly do you?
It's really bad. But it was a great experience. It ended sad.
But that little tiny man, he did stand up comedy.
Then a little guy came up and was like, "I want to do stand up, but I have too many businesses."
Yeah, he's like,
I'm like, TJ's in crypto.
Businesses. Yeah.
So then he came.
I am crypto. I'm the face of
I
Bitcoin.
told him if you can get 10 people to come to the show, we'll make it a bringer show. But he got Todd's number.
We haven't even talked about how we gave him the law. We gave everybody the wrong time. Oh. We were late. We were late to the show.
We were trying to get people to come to the show because it was
8 o'clock show. And then Keith calls and goes, "Where are you?" I was like, "Oh, does the show start? It starts at 7:30." He goes, "No, it starts at 7." I looked down. It's 7:17. And we're like, "Oh, we better hustle over." Also, we told a bunch of people to come an hour into the show.
So then Todd had this guy's number. So the guy shows up.
He actually just messaged me, by the way.
What did he say?
He said, "Hey, Todd. Absolutely no worries at all on speed. I saw you tape the show last night. Would you be able to send the video to me?"
You should give it to him in 2028.
Yeah, he can have it. He can have it when two of his businesses have failed. When he's finally ready to do stand up. No, but so he goes up, and I would say his jokes were 100% black people talk like this jokes.
Yeah, he did. We started with "I'm short and white."
But I identify as
and he goes, "I identify as a black person, so I dance." And both of us were like, "Woo!" It's weird how people think that's okay and funny.
Yeah.
Like, where does he live? Do we remember where he was from?
He wasn't the guy from Austin.
Yeah, where does he live?
There was a Canadian guy, a guy from Austin. This is like amazing.
This is fun. And I got an extra bubble.
Keith was very thrown off. Is he going to bring the bubbles out again?
I forgot to bring these out, but do you see now I was so sad?
Yes, it was perfect. Well, what a great ending.
What a great ending.
What a blast.
Annie did.
We did it. Annie did it. Check the links down below for all of TJ's products he's selling.
That's right. See you soon.
We really do. We love each other.
It's the meat and potatoes.
Welcome to Anniewood. This is the land of the standies, annies, and fannies, and all of the sleeping nannies. Yeah, welcome to Anniewood. This is the land of the standies, annies, and fannies, and all of the sleeping nannies. I'm gonna ayahuasca. I'm about to prosper. Blingy on my drinky, and Randy is living.
Oh, Randy, how did you feel about today's episode? Was it good? Did you like it? Did you like it outside? Did you like it like a puppuccino? Puppuccino? Did you like a puppuccino? Did you like a puppuccino?